Hi and welcome. I am Megan Appel and I have with me today this amazing lady. I won't steal the limelight, but I'll allow her to introduce herself.
Thank you, Megan. I hope you mean it though, like seriously.
Yes.
My name is Karen. I own the company Ragner Enterprises, also known as Ragner Events. I've been in the events industry now for a decade and 6 years. And yeah, loving it.
Well, thank you, Karen. Nice to meet you. Thank you for introducing Ragner Events to us. And particularly, I want to focus on the wedding planning part that your skill set offers. Now, Karen, tell me, I'm a new bride and most brides prefer to do it themselves. But why a wedding planner?
Firstly, because assuming that it's going to be any couple's first time to have a wedding, you definitely need someone to hold your hand. And with the pressure that comes with having everything flowing and being perfect and beautiful, you need someone with experience who's more knowledgeable. And also because as a couple, it's probably going to be the first time you're spending that much money in a day together. So you need to know which areas to prioritize, which areas not to prioritize, etc. And also wedding planners come with experience. And if you're intending to really enjoy that period of engagement and have that smile from the moment you wear that ring right through your wedding day, I mean, why not hire a professional?
So it's a good thing to have somebody on your side and someone who's got your back, basically.
Yes.
And say for couples that have recently got engaged, what are some of the things that you would recommend that they should do soonest, and what are some of the things they can wait till closer to the wedding date?
Okay. Firstly, I'd say set a date. I mean, at some point we've got to celebrate your love. I mean, for every couple. Set your date first. And then secondly, I'd advise sit down and consider who's going to be on your guest list. This will guide the couple as to what venues to shortlist, what budgets they're going to be looking at, and what kind of services they're going to sort out for. And yeah, before they obviously make contact with a wedding planner, because you need to know how best you can put together your plan and your vision going forward.
Great, thank you for that insight, Karen. And I think a lot of couples need help with prioritizing some of the things to splurge on at a wedding. Maybe help us understand from your experience, what is some of the things they can splurge on and what are some of the things they could inject less cash into?
Okay. Well, with that one, Megan, it's different for every couple because as we all know, we're different. And in the couple also, there's two individuals. So you may find that what's a priority for the bride is not necessarily a priority for the fiancé. So I would say if you just come up with a top 3 list of the things that you would most definitely want to look good and you wouldn't want to compromise on, that would be the things that I'd recommend you splurge more on. And then also for the things that you care less about, then those are the ones obviously where you'll channel less money, not to make it look ridiculous, but just spend less on them.
And I guess every bride wants a perfect wedding. And the job of a wedding planner is to make that come true. And now with regards to time frame, Karen, how long do you think a couple should take to engage a wedding planner before their wedding?
I'd say as soon as you get the ring on your finger, 6 to 12 months at least, because all the other vendors are pre-booked. So for lack of disappointment, it's better to do it earlier than later.
So you heard it here, guys. Book a year in advance. It helps.
It helps, absolutely.
Sure. And let's draw away from the wedding day. What about some families like to have engagement parties, some people like to have lobolas. Do you also cater for small engagements and parties?
Absolutely, we do. We definitely. The smaller, the more intimate, the more you get to interact and get to know and meet everyone. We definitely do those as well. So there's no big and small client. We value our clients the same, holistically.
Wow, so it's important, regardless of how big or small an event is, it's the passion that's put into it.
Absolutely, yes.
Wonderful. And now let's look a bit at the skill of how long you've been in this industry?
Absolutely, Megan, I can. I've been in this industry for 16 years and I've loved it. Those that know me before, I could barely stay 2 years in any job. But I've found that events are a bit of a challenge. There's something that will keep you wanting to carry on, and they bring out something in me. And because also I'm a sucker for love, I just I want to be a part of as many love stories as I possibly can be. So I guess that explains the 16 years.
And as a wedding planner, Karen, for your clients, do you charge a consultation charge for them?
Absolutely, Megan. We definitely charge for consultation. We charge every couple for consultation because in it, they're very detailed and it doesn't really tie you to us as a service provider. And you may find that in the consultation, all you just wanted was to consult initially and then have that planning process by yourself and then maybe later on engage a wedding coordinator. So yes, we do.
Now that you've been in this industry for a long period of time, maybe you can just enlighten us with some challenges that you face, especially on a wedding day as a wedding planner. What are some of the things that you've come face to face with and are willing to give some advice to couples?
Well, I could tell you quite a few.
I'm sure there's a lot.
But what I have noticed is that families tend to struggle to come together initially because of the way that people are brought up and the way they see things naturally. Sure. But we are able to then arrange a meeting and then sit down with the couple and also let them know and see that everyone comes with a heart of love and wants the best for them. When you're a wedding planner, you have to think of the things that ordinary people wouldn't just think about. For example, that maybe obviously every bride wants to have a killer heel on their day, but then we may forget that, you know what, I may need a pair of slops to be comfortable later on, you know, maybe I'm going to be walking around taking pictures. So we think of all those finer details and things like that. What I have faced that has been a challenge for me is for us women, we're very emotional and you are all dressed up and your makeup is on, then suddenly you have that standing innovation and it can be too much for a bride sometimes. And then everything is running down, you know, some of the makeup, you know, you have lines of black and all of that. So those are the things that we've had to deal with. But it's part of the tale that we have to tell on love. So we make sure that we book our makeup artists throughout the day so that whenever you need to be a touch-up, it's available, yes. To make sure you're looking good for every picture and you are at your best.
Wow. So Karen, you would be my personal person. My beck and call. Anything that's needed, you are there.
I'm there.
It's great to know that because many families like to engage a coordinator. You'll hear at many weddings, so-and-so will coordinate the day. So help us to distinguish the roles between a coordinator, on the day coordinator, or the role that a wedding planner will play in a wedding.
Thank you for that question. It's actually very valid. See, what happens with a wedding planner, the moment you decide to engage them, they are going to be with you from that moment right to execution of your wedding and you are sorted. Every day, everything, every plan you have, they're going to absolutely execute it for you. The difference with a coordinator is that they come in later in the process. So you would have done the groundwork as a couple, and then the coordinator just comes to tie out the vendors that you've selected and chosen, and if perhaps you have any DIYs that you want to do, so they'll make sure that they place them wherever you want and take care of that. And then also there's a difference in terms of pricing. A wedding planner, because of the nature of service that they have to offer you, they have a lot more work cut out for them. They will charge you more, and normally most wedding planners charge on a percentage. So it can vary depending on the client's budget, as opposed to a wedding coordinator who would just charge a flat fee because they already know what's expected and the timelines they're looking at. And yeah, so basically that's the major differences between the two.
Wow, thank you for that distinguished detail. Now we know the difference between a coordinator and a wedding planner. But I guess the biggest question now is, why is Karen the go-to wedding planner?
Megan, I love weddings And honestly, given the opportunity to leave my footprint in as many couples' lives as possible, I would take the opportunity. And also, being a business and running my own events business, I have a certain number of clients I take per year. That way I don't spread myself thin, and I like to be a part of every client's wedding. So we take a limited number per year, so we are not shortchanging you in terms of time, in terms of the meetings we can attend. And yeah, generally I'm a people's person. I like to see smiles on couples and their forever stories told well.
Well, thank you, Karen. I would personally want to have you as my wedding planner right now. And just tell us, as we conclude, what is your motivational statement that you like to uphold?
I believe that everyone should do what they do with passion, or else don't do it at all.
Quite a solid statement. And you've heard it here from Karen from Ragner Enterprises, that do it with passion or don't do it at all. So thank you, Karen.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Megan.